So welcome to our carousels. We created these in order to expose ideas in words and images. By linking ideas in images to words, both become amplified in terms of mental understanding. So let's set this in motion. We can click, and I have to call your attention that there are two kinds of carousels, some of which will allow you to explore links in the internet. We call them full carousels, and others that will limit but speed up your view, and they will be then contained within the images or explanations within the carousel. Next. So this subject today is about face. And when does a face become a facies? So if we click, we enlarge the screen in order to be able to read it better. All of these screens are clickable, and therefore all of them can be enlarged, including the two previous slides. So we are focusing on signs, which, if they are understood, become signals. And among the signs in the face, we can look for symmetry, the forehead, the nasal root, and so forth. But our subject and attention is on facies. And stated briefly, a facies, that is a face we are understanding, a face that is familiar. So we can go on to the next. And what is the very first face that we transform into a facies? Hopefully, it is the face of our mother. And as you can see in this image, the baby is very happy to see this face. It recognizes it. We can move on to the next image and enlarge it. So let's see what we can see better. And most people know that this is the famous lady that Leonardo da Vinci painted across all his life. And this image, this portrait of Mona Lisa traveled with him even to his times when he was in France, and it was found next to his deathbed. This face conveys a sense of mystery, and people have been fascinated by this painting. Next, then, we can then go on to that the faces sometimes reveal feelings that we rather keep hidden. So the face can be like a mask, a poker face. Some of these poker faces are indicative of a brain disorder. And if we click on an enlargement here, we can see it better, the different dramatic expressions. And if we click on it again, I presume we're going to leave the carousel to go to the internet, and then we are free to explore the whole scope and range of what's in the media across the world. Let's go back. And so is to remind you that carousels can be used in a variety of detail. Here then is an example of if we click of a face that conveys a sentiment. She certainly does not look happy. So therefore, the face is not only a structure, but it's also a demonstration of function, of psyche. Let's move on. And here then is another point of in the similar sense. Let's click on it. And we can see that this individual, a Roman emperor, is not relaxed. He looks very worried. Rome achieved its maximum size under his rule, but he knew it was unstable. So let's click on this again, and we may then explore the internet in any way we want and find explanations, find other images, other perspectives. That's up to the user. But the user has to be logged in into a full carousel and not to a quick view carousel. Let's go back. And we see that facies can even speak of genes. Let's look into this one, which is a disproportions of a face. Look at that nose and the jaw. Let's click on it to see it better. And this is characteristic of a gene mutation of the Habsburg royal family. This is called the Habsburg jaw. So a single gene can be manifested by facial disproportions. Let's go on. And we talk about disproportions. Well, there it is. Let's click on this. Two young people with similar faces that are disproportional. The gestalt of a facies is far greater than we can explain in words. You instinctively know they have something similar, distortions that are similar. This is characteristic of another genomic problem. They probably have an extra chromosome 21 or Down syndrome. This painter was very sensitive to proportions, more sensitive than clinicians, because clinicians did not discover Down syndrome for many more centuries that transpired since he painted these images. Let's go to the next. And here then we see a series of masks. Let's enlarge it. And we immediately can tell by the faces that these are not European faces. So what is an Asian facies? Please tell me in your own words. Let's go on. So in the interest of brevity, let's click on this. I have been very economic in comments. You can review this this carousel slowly and in much greater detail. Read the headers, read the footers, explore the internet. And here is an example of how words can be linked into constellations, and each of them has perspectives that enrich the others. Let's see what happens if we click. And we see then an interrelationship of face with face, facetious, with facade, with factor, and I will go on from here on. Let's click on the next. So to summarize then, we have then illuminated ideas. Let's click on this. And the ideas are very broad. We have shown images linked to words, words linked to images, and illustrated an Amazon that looked sad, Down syndrome, encephalocele, ethnic, face, facies, mask, ptosis, syndrome. Please take a look. You may have missed these. Play it again. Let's go on. So it's time to close. Let's open this. And there are many, many carousels that will touch upon similar perspectives. But more important than that is your perspective. Explore carousels your way to construct and discover your own points of view. Let's go on. And so we have reached the end. Next. And you have some choices as to what to do next. You have seen this video, which gives you my perspectives, but there are other carousels that are amenable to build up your own perspectives. And until then, I extend to you my best wishes, and I hope you visit us soon. Thank you.